Prosecution team, do you have any other witnesses? You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Our next witness will be testifying through video deposition. She is Mercedita De Jesus, and she will testify on the enforced disappearance of his son Gene Roz De Jesus and his companion Dexter Capuyan, who are both human rights defenders. If I said, they will testify through video deposition.
Okay.
Ma'am, do you agree to be videotaped while you are giving your testimony?
Yes, I agree.
Do you freely and voluntarily agree to be interviewed?
Yes.
Please state your name, age, and other personal circumstances for the record.
I am Mercedita De Jesus, 59 years old, married to Gene Roz De Jesus. We are based in Bologna, Italy. I have two children, namely Ida Alexa Teres and Gene Roz Jamil.
So, you mentioned about Gene Roz Jamil. If you know, what organization does he belong to?
Before, during his college days, he was a student leader. He leads the Alliance of Concerned Students and the Council of Leaders. And last year, he was hired as the Info and Network Officer of the TFIP, or the Task Force for Indigenous People's Rights.
So when was the last time that you were able to communicate with your son, Gene Roz Bazoo?
That was April 28, 2023. In Italy time, it may be about 2:30 p.m., but in the Philippines, it's about 8:30. He greeted us good evening in our group chat.
So what happened to him, if you know, after your last communication?
After that last communication, we were all worried because we've known him that he was so very busy every night, texting and calling his friends, and it was very what would you say? It's not unbecoming of him that he stopped texting or chatting with us, and that was in the morning of Saturday. My daughter Ida called us, and she informed us that Bazoo is allegedly missing. And before, we were all worried, but I'm still hoping that maybe he's still hibernating, or just he stayed at the house of his friends. But Saturday and Sunday, there were no news about him. That Sunday, he was supposed to meet his friends in Bulacan, but he never came. And then on that Monday is May 1st, and he was supposed to organize an activity for the Labor Day, or for his TFIP duty, and he also did not came. So we were all worried that maybe that was a case of disappearance, or I don't know what we should call on that situation.
What actions were taken by you or your relatives in the Philippines after learning that Bazoo went missing?
My daughter was informed by the TFIP office that we have to be with the what we call Karapatan organization at the CHRA, or the Cordillera Human Rights Alliance. They are planning to have a search and investigation in the province of Rizal. I was still in Bologna at that time, and I am very worried. That's why I told my husband that I should be there to be personally along with the searchers. And then we bought my ticket, and I arrived here in the Philippines on May 8, 2023. And in the morning of May 9, we went to Malolos Police Station because the Taytay Police did not include the report or the police blotter, and they did not sign any documents that will prove that he was in their custody. Then May 10, another search and investigation in the province of Rizal. We have some search and investigation again in Tarlac, in other military camps, and me and my daughter and another friend of Bazoo, we went to the National Mental Hospital and the Makati Medical Center Hospital because when we checked on his Google, Google because there is an IP address that points to Makati Medical Center and the National Mental Hospital, and we tried to go there so that we could check if they brought Bazoo in that institution, but no, we didn't find any info.
What were the responses from, you said that you went searching for him in different
Military camps.
What were the responses from these military camps, police stations that you went to?
This particular barangay, that was Dolores, where the disappearance happened. This certain barangay chairman told us that maybe Bazoo and his companion went uphill, but it was very ridiculous. And he's telling us that maybe all activists are into that activity. They will disappear, and then they will be, later on, they will be found in the mountains as a member of the New People's Army. And then we went also to another detention, that was the CIDG in Antipolo, and this OIC, or the officer in charge of the detention center, did not sign the disappearance form, which will prove that there's no Bazoo or Dexter in their custody. Then another very bad experience happened during when the time that we went to Tarlac, or the what do you call that military camp in Tarlac? Aquino, Camp Aquino in Tarlac. We were there are the military forces there, the SWAT team and the police forces. They intimidated us, and they didn't want us to enter the camp, and they did not sign the disappearance form. It's very maybe I could explain it in our language. Kasama namin nun si Attorney Marvin Palasagi and another from the CHR, or the Commission on Human Rights, and all of the military men, they have their uniform with their nameplates removed, and then for about 3 hours we were there, and we are requesting that they should sign the disappearance form, but they did not sign the form, and they told us that there is no OIC on that time. That's why there was no one to sign the form. So we went on with our activity. We have that manifestation, or the rally, wherein all the youth from Cordillera were there.
Is there a case filed in relation to Bazoo and Dexter's enforced disappearance?
We were fortunate that we have the set of NUPL lawyers, and we filed a petition for a writ of habeas corpus at the Court of Appeals.
So what is the status of this petition for writ of habeas corpus before the Court of Appeals?
It was dismissed after the 2 consecutive hearings because the military forces who were present there denied that they have in custody these two persons.
Now, ma'am, do you agree for your interview to be presented to the International People's Tribunal?
Yes, I agree.
And, ma'am, what are you expecting from the International People's Tribunal in relation to the enforced disappearance of Bazoo and Dexter?
As parents, we really wanted to have this justice because these two persons, especially Bazoo, they were both unarmed civilian activists, and we really wanted the military forces to surface these two persons, and they were arbitrarily branded as and red tagged as what you call communists or terrorists, and it wasn't true.
Is there any more to this particular testimony?
Nothing further, Your Honor. That would be all for the testimony of this witness.
Do my colleagues have any questions? I just have two questions. From the notes that we have, and not necessarily from the testimony of this witness, it appears that Dexter had an arrest warrant, and there was an award of 1.85 million, whatever the local currency is. What is that currency? It says P.
Sorry, it's Philippine peso, Your Honor.
What is it?
Philippine peso.
Philippine pesos. Okay, so there was, as far as I know, and do you know, from the notes that we have that were given to us, there was an arrest warrant. And do you know what the charges were that supported this reward that was?
We have no personal knowledge as to the exact charges, but it was alleged based on the account of the tricycle driver who last saw them, that the abductor, or that the persons who took them made mention about a search warrant, a warrant of arrest intended for Dexter.
Right. Now, both Dexter and Gene, they both were abducted. Do you know whether or not there was an arrest warrant for Gene?
There is no, as far as we know, Your Honors, Gene does not have any warrant of arrest.
Okay. And do you know if both of them, both Dexter and Gene, were accused of being members of the either the Communist Party or the Philippine NPA?
As far as we know, Your Honors, it was only Dexter was previously red tagged as a communist in his region, and Bazoo was also red tagged to a certain extent because he was also a student leader back in his college days, a student activist back in his college days.
Did one find those who saw the abduction taking place? Were they able to identify either by clothing or otherwise whether these the abductors were part of the military or the police?
Based on the testimony given by the person who last saw them, he clearly mentioned that the said persons introduced themselves as members of the police, and that they should not intervene since they have a warrant for Dexter.
One final question. I note that there were apparently members of the community, perhaps using cell phones, etc., who captured abduction or that abduction or other abductions taking place. Do you know if the vehicle's identification plates were taken and then given to the authorities as part of proof that the owners of the vehicles, etc., were part of the abduction? If you know.
We have no personal knowledge as to that, Your Honor. But for the case of Dexter and Bazoo's disappearance, based on the testimony of that witness who last saw them, there were no. He was not able to see the plate numbers, but when they tried to inform the authority, because the incident happened inside a private subdivision, and they're supposed the security guards in the said subdivision should have logged the plate numbers of the vehicles coming inside the subdivision. But unfortunately, for the case of Bazoo and Dexter, there was no record of the plate number of the vehicle that went in and took them.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Your Honor.
Yes, amicus curiae.
I inquired from the Human Rights Watchdog who monitors most of these cases, and I got the information that as far as Mr. Capuyan is concerned, he's being charged by the NTF CAP with murder and frustrated murder, Your Honor.
Was that the basis of the arrest warrant?
Probably, Your Honor, but we don't have a hard copy because we have been looking for the records and it's not available, Your Honor.
I see. Okay, thank you. Could you call your next witness, please? If you have one.
May I approach the bench? At this time, we have a scheduled break. If people could return by 11 a.m.